This episode is brought to you by the I Am a Five-Star Woman Retreat. Join us as women convene south of tropical Miami, Florida on October 6, 2018. In this one-day retreat from our surrounding worlds, ladies will congregate to enjoy all things Jamila Wellness, from uniting the women in the family with the Forever Brunch, to living our star lives, to building our resilience with Naturally Cinnamon. The attendees of these retreats will leave with tools to immediately apply to their lives. The menu, each section, and every activity have been delicately created to increase every aspect of wellness in women: mental wellness, emotional wellness, physical wellness, financial wellness, and yes, spiritual wellness too. Not only will you walk away with having developed each point of your star, you will be a five-star woman. Register now at www.starshineconference.com and use promo code podcast to receive 10% off your ticket. Can't make it and want a live stream? There's an option for you too. www.starshineconference.com. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time of the day it is that you're tuning in. Welcome to another episode of the Resilience Rising Podcast with me, Naturally Cinnamon. I am a therapist, life coach, resilience cultivator, and the founder and CEO of Jamila Wellness, LLC, where women go to be well and live beautifully. You can find us at resiliencerisinpodcast.com. You can also send in your questions, topics, comments, and feedback at resiliencerisinpodcast@gmail.com. Like this, love this, share it, rate it, comment, but most important, make sure that you're subscribed and following. Here's another episode. Hope you enjoy. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode. This is the second installment of the 4-episode series in our relationship series. Yeah, there's not a fancy name for it. I thought I'd come up with one, but I didn't. It's just our 4-episode relationship series. Now, last week, I released an episode on self-love. That was the first one. Today, we're going to talk about our relationships with our friends. So I hope you took the time to examine the relationship you have with yourself, because now we're going to talk about the relationships that we have with others, starting with our friendships. Now, there was no way that I could effectively talk about friendships without talking about my best friend. We have been in a best friend relationship for almost 30 years, and we've gone through different twists and turns in our lives, but we've been able to maintain our friendship and keep it intact in a very healthy way. So I had to call her in, and we just had a few separate conversations about friendships and about our friendship and what we thought, made it work for so many years. So I'm going to go ahead and get into that. We share our wins, L's, our no's, and we talk about a myriad of different things. And then I'm going to come back to you because someone sent in a question to the Resilience Rising podcast about friendships. So I hope you enjoy. Off the top of the head, go for it. What are some wins lately?
Let's see. Professionally, because I started a new job 3 months ago.
Ooh.
Yesterday was, not yesterday, but Monday was my end of my 90-day probation.
Woohoo.
There was a lady there that was out for a while. She had lost her husband.
Oh.
And so she came back and, nobody did, but she did. So her desk is, piled high. And she was like, I need help. And I was like, I got you. I don't know what you do, but I'll help you. And she was like, I've been working here for a long time, and I've tried to teach many people how to do this, and nobody understands. She was like, how did you sit here for 27 minutes and get my job better than me? So I guess that could be a win because I'm learning stuff.
That's really sad. She was out because
her husband.
She is now a widow.
Yeah.
And nobody tried to help her.
Every once in a while somebody would be like, I touched a few things, but she has so much stuff. And I don't even work in the department that she does. I do something totally different from her. So, yeah.
That's my bestie.
I try to help people out. I do what I can when I can,
I'm emotional. Yeah, I'm good.
Other wins. I've started school shopping for the children.
Woohoo!
I consider that a win because I usually wait till the week before.
Okay, that's an L for me because that means we that much closer to the end of my summer break. So that that one I'm having a hard time celebrating with you on that one.
It's okay. I bought a few things. I bought some school supplies and some shirts for Rumari.
Okay.
That's about it. School supplies and shirts.
Lord Jesus. Okay.
I tried. Losses. I said I was going to start back working out. this week.
Girl, don't
Instead, I ate an entire bag. Chewy Chips Ahoy. That was a big L because I was eating and watching TV. And I reached in. I reached in that first row. I reached in that second row. I reached in that third row, and all them cookies was gone. And I was like, oh, I'm so ashamed.
It's okay. I ate 3 slices of pizza before you got here, so I understand.
I was like, oh, I'm so ashamed.
I understand.
Another L, I cannot accept the fact that my son is a teenager now.
He is. He
told me he kissed a girl yesterday.
Wait a minute, hold on. I wasn't ready for that.
Girl, he told me that, and I was like, oh, my baby,
I wasn't ready for that. Wait a minute, hold on.
I did a 90s Mariah Carey wall slide when he told me that. I just straight slid down the wall. Slid down the wall like on like when she was in the shower. I want to say it was what song was that? When she was and she slid down. I did that right there, and I was just
Okay, wait. Pause. Let's define kiss. There is.
No, he said it was a.
Okay, it's a peck.
Yes.
Okay.
He was like, she kissed me on the lips, mommy, and I was like, ha.
Okay.
I just slid down the wall. I didn't know what else to do.
I'm just trying to find a way to absorb this.
You know, it's
like,
that's how. That's so many things to absorb. These children, I'll tell you.
Ooh, and she kissed him. Ooh.
Yeah, she kissed him. I was like, well, who's fast? This little girl is this.
Now, I don't have asthma, but I think I'm having an asthma attack right now. My chest is tight.
Gotta breathe it.
I'm wheezing. Oh, I was not prepared. Oh, Lord. Okay.
My baby, man.
Oh, my God. See, I have levels of friendship.
Right.
I have compartments and categories of friendships. Mm-hmm. There is, friendships. There's the church friends. There's my sister friends. Mm-hmm. There's family friends. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, my best friend spans all of those categories. That's why I have like one. It's like
that's right.
One, because I'm like,
It's been stated. It's been stated that I fit in any situation. Oh, you can take me to hang out with Obama or Jay-Z, and I'm gonna fit right in.
And that part.
That was the exact quote. I could take her to be with either Obama or Jay-Z, and she fits right in. I was like, yes, I do. I can adapt.
Oh my God. I was telling my mom yesterday. I was like, niggas coming over, we're gonna do a podcast. I want you to know she was probably just as excited as I was.
Her mom is great, man.
Oh man, and I was like, we have been best friends for almost 30 years.
Yes, I think we met when we were 10.
Was it 10 or 9? I don't remember. I think it was 10.
It was 10.
I think it was 10.
Because from what I remember, I could be wrong.
We were going into 5th grade?
Yes, during the summer. It was at Moton. That was back when
that is correct.
When you could go to summer school.
Well, like it wasn't a problem. Like going to summer school. Not because you failed.
Right.
But yeah, because mama ain't want you home all day.
Right. Yeah, and I remember they switched me to a different class that summer. And I walked in, and the teacher was like, take whatever seat you could find. And the first seat I saw was next to you.
Aww.
And I sat down. I was like, she's black.
Y'all need to know her memory has always been better than mine. Like, always. Because I don't remember none of that.
I enjoy sitting next to black people. I'm going to sit by her. Plus, I like her glasses. I think they were either red or purple.
Probably purple.
And I was like, I like her glasses, so I'm going to sit by her.
Mm-hmm. That part. I told my mom, I said, that was the summer I met Nikki. That was the summer I met Mahogany. And was Amanda in that class?
She was at the school, but she wasn't in that class.
Okay.
Yeah, she was at the school.
And she was like, oh my God. That's basically when
all of this started.
That's when it began. And it just went from there.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So yes, as we are talking about friendships, what tips would you give for people as they are navigating through friendships? Because there are truly people who are together for, a little season of their lives. We were friends for about 5 years, rolling hard, tough, and then we drifted apart.
Right.
But seeing as how our friendship is about 30 years old.
It's grown. It's grown. It's able to pay taxes and all. It is a full adult, not an adult.
The friendship can buy a drink.
Right.
There
Rent
it is.
Cars. It can do all that
is.
stuff. It is mature.
There it is. So what I guess tips or pointers would you give to somebody who is trying to maintain a friendship?
One of the things I always say to people when they ask me that, I tell them something my grandma told me when I was like 6.
Ooh.
My grandma looked at me and she said, honey, in order for you to have a good friend, you have to be a good friend. So whatever kind of friend you want to have, that's the type of friend you need to be.
There it is.
That's all.
That's it.
And I was like, okay, grandma.
Words of wisdom. Words of wisdom. Oh my God. And I did tell my mama this. I said, I love telling people this because it shocks them. When I tell them, we have never had an argument.
No argument.
People are like, no, all friends argue.
We've never had an argument. There's never been a period of time where we were not speaking to each other because we were mad about something. We have never, ever, ever had these kinds of issues in our friendship. Never.
Because why?
Right.
Because why? What does it solve? When you come back together and speak, what changed?
Right. Yeah, I was mad for a little while and that's it. So why be mad?
I don't know.
Why be mad?
Not understanding. So it's like, I could, and my other thing was I never wanted to, there are certain people where if I'm upset with you and I'm not speaking to you, it is what it is. I never wanted to ever have a situation where we're mad at each other and one's not speaking to the other and something happens during that time. And I'm not even talking about something as extensive as, death, but to find out that you, I don't know, lost your job and had to move away and now you're living in Orlando and 2 years went by and we haven't spoken and now I finally look up and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't want that to happen.
One of those things with me is if I'm friends with you, I don't ever want there to be a time where you said I needed you and you were not there. If I am truly your friend, I am going to be there for you.
Basically.
Period. There's no getting around it.
Basically.
I am your friend. I will be there for you. I don't ever want it to be a time where you be like, I needed you and you weren't there. And I'd be like, well, did you tell me? Because that's the only way I wasn't there because you didn't tell me.
Because I didn't know. Oh my God. But I've had people who got very upset with me. Not very. I'll take that word out. They got upset. They felt a type of way when I finally came out and told my story about being diagnosed with depression and going through that. They were so upset that I didn't call them. Why didn't you call me? But why didn't you? Okay, listen. I barely told my mama. like let's start there. There's a hierarchy chain. If I can't tell my parents, who I'm not just close to, I'm darn near connected
right
to. If I can't tell them, I just can't. I'm not going to put that kind of a burden on somebody else because I care too much. Not only that, I don't know how to say this.
Right.
I don't know how to, I'm still learning how to say it. Like, right, I'm still learning how to say it. So I couldn't say nothing. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I can talk about it openly, freely. There you go. They still upset.
Well, see, that's the problem. Most people, they're upset not because of how it affects you, but because of how it affects them. And in their minds, they have y'all relationship built up a certain way, where it's not the same way in your mind. So they're not on the same wavelength as you.
Expectations.
And their feelings are hurt because they're like, well, I thought we were bigger than this. Like, no, you have to understand when somebody is going through something, they will let you know about it in their own time.
Right.
When it's comfortable for them.
Right.
Because sometimes you can't tell everybody everything.
Especially not as it's happening.
Because they can't handle it. When you barely can handle it, and you know for a fact that they're not going to be able to handle it.
And then you have to know your friends. You have to know your friends. You have to be able to say, you know what? If this friend is going to respond in this way because that's who she is, that's who he is,
right, and
that's actually going to make it worse for me because I'm still trying to process it, maybe I need to hold off telling you.
Right.
Not because you're so wrong, but I mean, certain information you don't know how to take.
Right.
I remember I was, you remember when I was pregnant?
I do. I recall it.
Yeah, that's another episode. For if y'all want to know, y'all have to write into tell me you want to know about
that. I remember the day you sent it. It was April Fool's Day, and I was like, Is this an April Fool's Day?
It was, because I said that about the pregnancy test. I was like, somebody is punking me with this test that I just bought out of Walgreens. Like, Walgreens, how did you do that? You know, that's the ultimate April Fool's joke.
That's the I think it's Walgreens, because when I was pregnant, I went and got one, and there was 2 in the box. I took them out. I was like, these tests are lying to me. They are lying. This is a lie.
That part. I remember I told a friend of mine that I was pregnant, and he had the most honest response of anybody. He said, do I say congratulations or I'm sorry? You have to know how somebody's going to respond when you tell them stuff. Exactly. Some people are going to be open to hearing what you got to say. Some people are going to go right into what they think they're supposed to say. Right. I remember I told somebody, yeah, I'm pregnant. They were like, oh my God, congratulations. I'm like, no. This is not a good thing.
Whenever people tell me that they're pregnant, that's the first thing I ask, how do you feel about this?
Right. So am I being happy with you? Or am I being devastated with you? Which way we going?
Do you want me to just be in the middle and smile and nod? Because I can
do that too. Right. I got you. You just tell me where you are and I can roll with that. But not everybody's like that. Oh my God. But that's a question that I've had to learn to ask anytime I feel like I'm upset with somebody who's a friend of mine over a situation. Mm-hmm. I have had to learn how to separate the situation from the person. Sometimes it's just, okay, that happened. Right. Until I have to ask myself, okay, well, what did they do to me? Mm-hmm. If I can't find nothing, like, but they didn't. That was just the situation. Okay, right. You know what? Then you and I can talk like adults about the situation and see if we can come to some sort of whatever conclusion. Mm-hmm. But if you doing something to me, please understand that there are times without discussion, I'm going to put a nice size wedge between us. And I'm not going to talk to you about it.
And the funny thing about that is that I am very clear in my boundaries and stuff like that. I tell people all the time, if you and I are in any type of relationship, friendship, we go together, whatever. Mm-hmm. If we're in any type of relationship and I say to you, I don't like when you do this. Mm-hmm. And you do it. And I say, okay, I don't like when you do this, and you do it again. I know for a fact that you don't respect me or my feelings, because I've clearly told you I don't like this. So if you continue to do something that somebody doesn't like, you don't care anything about that person, their feelings, or none of that stuff. You don't value the relationship. So why should I continue?
Why am I staying here? Oh my God. Before we started recording, we were talking about relationships. One thing we've never done was go in depth talking about our relationships.
Oh God.
I don't know if there's a reason for that, or we just don't.
The thing about talking about relationships are weird,
They are.
And we're both similar in ways that we're not sure if we really like people, when we like them. We're not sure if our feelings are going to last for a very long time.
Babe, that's not true. I love you and I'll love you forever. If you're listening, I love you and I love you forever. Okay.
She does. It's true. She does love you.
Yay.
She'll love you forever.
Yay.
Yeah, sometimes you don't know. I don't know why we never. I guess it's because relationships are really weird. I don't
know. It's so funny that there are certain conversations we'll just naturally flow into, and certain conversations we just naturally just don't have. Yeah. And don't feel no types of way about it. Be like,
I don't know why. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that you and my baby daddy never liked each other. And so,
I never knew whether or not he did or didn't like me. I never took the time to find out. All I know is that I didn't like him.
I'm going to tell you what he told me one day. There was a day. It was when I graduated. You came around to the house. You came around to the party. After you told me you would never party with me like that ever again.
That was a fun night, though.
It was.
That was really a fun night.
That night, he pulled me to the side and he was like, "Why doesn't Cinnamon like me?" And I was like, "Why do you care?"
Because I don't.
I was like, I don't. Is it going to enhance your life in any way if she decides that one day, you know what, I'm going to like him? He was like, no. So why do you care?
He came and asked me. that night, he came. I don't know. I was in the kitchen. I remember it was something about ice. And I kept going in the kitchen regarding something about ice. I don't know if I kept running out of ice. I don't know what it was. But I kept going in the kitchen for ice. Whatever. He comes in the kitchen. Remember, you could come out either way.
Yes.
So he came in one side, so I decided to head to the other direction. Okay, I'm leaving now. He caught me. Mind you, I'm 5'3". He's 6 foot. He's 6'4". His legs are quite longer than mine. So why I thought I was going to outwalk him, I don't know. I may have been intoxicated at the moment and just not making good judgment calls.
I think everyone was intoxicated.
It was a good night. Like, I'm just going to keep saying that. It was a fun night.
Epic.
It was a fun night. Epic. I was happy for my bestie.
Yeah, I was happy for me too.
It's a good night.
Good night.
He asked me, he was like, why don't you like me? And I was like, why are you asking me to cook? I was like, look, dude, I ain't like you. Like, but y'all not even together no more. So what does it matter? I never came in trying to break y'all up. I just knew that I'm not probably going to come around a whole lot because me and you just don't mesh. But what does it matter? He was like, I just need to know why. Like, I know what I said to him, but I'm not going to say it on the air. And he took a step back. He just took a step back. And I remember he looked at me like, she is really crazy. Like, he gave me this look like, oh my God, you really don't like me. And I'm like,
sometimes you have to accept you like it's been stated. I remember your brother saying you don't have to like everybody.
You don't. And not just that. My thing to him was it never interfered. Me liking you, not liking you, never interfered with your relationship. I'm not one of those best friends that's going to be like, oh girl, I don't like him. You can't be with him. It's not my decision. I'm not the one in it. If she's okay, I'm okay.
Yeah. And I maybe that's why we just don't like to be involved in each other's relationship. That's what you do in your relationship is your business.
Just make sure they're not hurting you.
Right. Now, if it's not healthy, then I got to get involved.
Then I have to say, listen, I need to say something. But other than that, it's like,
yeah, I guess that's why we don't talk about it.
I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. We just don't, because I'm just like, long as you good, I'm good.
Right.
Oh my God. It's just a few days ago, my dad lost his friend.
Oh,
they have been, I call him daddy's best friend, but they're just friends. Daddy has friends. He's never declared himself having a best friend. Right. So, okay, I'll respect that.
Men tend not to do that.
Yeah. But he lost his friend. They have been friends for, I want to say, somewhere close to 65 years.
Jesus. That is a long time. Listen, let me tell you something. I remember I went to a funeral once. I had to sing at a funeral. And the lady was standing up there and she was like, this lady was my best friend. This was like, I want to say 3 years ago, maybe. She's like, we have been friends since 1947. And I'm sitting there and I'm boo-hoo crying. I was like, what would I do? I mean, I had to leave. I was like, I can't. I was like, I can't even wrap my mind. Like, okay, so now that we're gonna go somewhere else. I can't handle it. Ooh, I can't. I'm so sorry. That is a long time to be knowing somebody. Like a long man.
And this reminds me of the movie How Stella Got a Groove Back, when the Whoopi Goldberg character passed away and Stella was just like, what am I gonna do? Listen, just because I don't talk to you every day, just because I don't talk to you every week, man, look, listen, understand something. Y'all better not let nothing happen to my best friend. Cause you talking about somebody gonna have to keep you away from the grave because I'm jumping in. Like, that's it, Nikki. We going together, girl. We going out together. It's it. That's it. I'm done.
Same.
Like, well, we had a good run and we going out together.
Same. That's what I'm saying. I was like, well, we just gonna have to die together.
That's it.
I don't know what I would do.
I'm like,
somebody gonna have to fight me. Somebody gonna have to fight me. I don't care.
All of 70 years old.
Right. I don't care if I'm 84 and I ain't got not one tooth in my mouth. Somebody gonna have to fight me. Fight me.
Just trying to understand. I'm just like, man, that is not something I ever want to experience, which is weird because I'm like, I never want to experience my bestie going, but I never want to leave her behind either. So it's like, girl, we gonna have to do this together, man, because it's like,
we're just gonna have to go for it together. Be like, wait a minute, I'm sorry, what's happening? Okay, well, we're gonna make a phone call. We're gonna coordinate some things.
Right, like, let me go in the next room and call some people. Like, just can't do it. I can't. Oh my God. I have given up a social life, not just because of finances, but also because when I started the business and then started another business, like, I'm not allowing myself to start another one.
You did start many businesses at
did.
once. I was like, whoa, my best friend, she's everywhere.
I'm addicted.
She is out here in these streets, man.
That part. Tired as I don't know what. People be like, how you doing? I'm tired. How are you? I'm tired. They be like, yeah, I understand. No, you don't understand. Like, you don't like, I'm understand. Barely standing here right now. I am exhausted.
I tell people that all the time. How are you doing? You know how Take Me to the King starts. Mm-hmm. Truth is, I'm tired. That's it. That's all.
Options are few.
I said, how are you? Truth is, I'm tired. That's all I have for you. I have nothing else.
Oh my gosh.
Well, how is everyone? They tired too. We are we are a tired bunch.
And now I'm thinking about Kelly Price song. Tired. That is one thing that I know I picked up from you, that there's a song for everything.
Listen, I've encountered quite a few people who do the same thing. So because initially I was beginning to think that maybe I was weird. But no. I have come across a few other people that have found the music in life's everyday situations.
I'm telling you, we sitting in class and a student say something, I'm like, do not break out in the song right now. I tell people I have a whole other life in my head. Like, I know I've said this on the podcast a couple times. In my head, I have a whole other life. I have people that I'm connected to. Mm-hmm. Iyanla is my auntie. Tell people that all the time. That's Auntie Iyanla. Oprah is my godmother. Right. Michelle Obama is my god sister. Mm-hmm. I got like a whole group of people that I have there. You know, we text each other. We in a group chat.
Right, of course.
That's what we do. But what I do for a living in my head, I'm on Broadway. Like, I'm a former Broadway top star. I have a Tony Award in my imaginary house. Uh-huh. Like, that's it. So breaking out into spontaneous song and dance in my head happens more often than I can count.
You know, I've gotten it to where I can control it, where I don't do it at work. But at home, like literally full song in there. Like sometimes Nakaya will say something and I will break it. I mean, I'm spinning and twirling on the floor. I'm singing like full on song, and I get finished and she's looking at me like, really? So you're just gonna dance and sing across the entire living room?
And this is why the only person I can do that with.
And you know the funny thing about it, she has actually picked that up from me.
Oh,
there are times where we'll be talking and we'll just immediately start singing. Same song, same part of the song. She's like, why do we do that?
Because it's the best thing ever. It's the best. Jeremy does it from time to time too.
It's a wonderful thing.
The thing is, he listens to so much more music than I do, so I don't even know the song he's singing. I'm like, I can't join in. I really want to.
I'm sorry,
but I don't know the song, and I'm really sorry. I just totally ruined the moment. I apologize. I'm so sorry.
You know, I try to make sure I listen to plenty of music.
Oh man!
Between podcasts and music, I don't have to listen to office chatter.
I tell my students, I'm like, y'all have to understand, I'm stuck. My brother said he is washed. I am stuck. I got stuck at some point. I listen to audiobooks. Mm-hmm. I still like to read the books. I listen to podcasts. But if I want to listen to music, I go straight to my Google Play and listen to everything that I've already downloaded over the years. Like, I don't even reach out for new music. That's so sad.
You gotta reach out for some. You know, I'll send you some people that I think you may enjoy.
I appreciate it.
There are some artists that I can listen to and I'll be like, hey. And I'm dancing and singing on, and there's some I'm like, what in the entire
I can't even watch award shows because I'm like, I don't know who these people are. Even if somebody I know wins the award, the other people that were nominated, I'm like, I've never heard of these people. I don't know who this is.
The only reason I know today's artists, not because I want to, it's because I have children and I need to know what's being put into their ears. I can be like, hey, don't you ever sing or listen to that again.
As my brother puts it, it's trash.
He's like, all of this is trash.
I told my students, I was like, listen, you guys have to understand. I don't care who Kiki loves. I don't care. Kiki, do you love me? I don't care. I don't care if she does or not. I don't care if she loves somebody else. You know why I don't care? Because I still want to know where's Aisha and why is she the girl that he'll never have? Is Annie okay? You know, no one has ever answered if Annie was okay.
I don't think she
is. I need to know if Annie's okay. She may not be now. She may have died. But at the time that he was asking.
You know, there are many questions.
Was she okay?
Where did we go wrong? How did you get here?
We still don't know where broken hearts go.
You know? Listen,
we still don't know. I have questions.
The other day, my mama was singing that song. I was sitting in my room with a blanket wrapped around my shoulders. And I came out into the hallway. Arms spread wide, twirling and singing. Full voice.
I'm telling you, those are the best songs.
Full voice. And she sitting there looking at me like, she's like, so you just gonna interrupt my singing? I was like, I'm sorry.
I'm telling you.
You weren't doing it right. You weren't doing it right.
With somebody, I'm telling you, because I can tell you at what part of that song I'm going to completely lose it. Where do broken hearts go?
I lose it a little bit before that. Now that I'm here with you, I'll never let you go. I look into your eyes and now I know. Key change, now I know. Oh.
Key change!
That's where I'm going to lose it right there.
Key change!
And I think that's
where I come in right after.
That's where I came in. I was like, you're not saying...
Oh my God. These are moments that can only be shared with certain few people in my life.
Yeah, I know you get me, you know?
Oh, man. Because, see, I'm the fool that would pick up my phone and put on the flashlight and give you a spotlight. Like, yes.
And I would work the spotlight, honey.
Work it.
Work the spotlight.
Like, y'all don't understand. This is the part in the song. Did we not see the video? Like, y'all don't remember the video? Where's my YouTube? Let me show you. We need to rehearse. Call a rehearsal.
Yeah, I like doing that to Nikaya. She'd be like, oh, that's a nice song. You need to watch the video so you can get the full effect of the song. Because, I mean, the song is nice, but you need to see a visual. But, you know, she's well-rounded musically, you know.
She is, because I don't remember the name of that game, but the way she whooped my grown behind in that musical trivia game.
I make sure that she's well-rounded musically.
Good night. And I'm sitting here like, you know what? I got you. We're going 90s music.
Oh, no. She is truly, let me tell you something. There's a cup in my car that says 90s music makes me happy. It sat on my desk until today. I got a new cup that was a little bit bigger, so I decided to bring it home.
I tell you.
90s, listen, on my way here, I was like, what can I listen to? So I pulled up my title, and I said, let's see what kind of playlist they got. And they had a playlist called 1998 R&B. Listen.
I want you to know the first thing I thought of was Busta Rhymes. 1998, y'all. Okay, I'm sorry.
Listen, I was driving here singing full voice. Along with Brandy, Monica, Faith Evans.
Man.
I mean, full voice. People in the cars right next to me like, what is wrong with her?
I'm telling you.
Theatrics.
Oh my God. I hope you enjoyed the randomness of our conversations. Listen, we must have talked for at least 3 hours. There was no way I was going to let you listen to everything we said. Gotta hold something to ourselves, right? But there were some cool parts and some nuggets that were dropped that I was glad to be able to share with you. So now we have a question that was sent in through the Resilience Rising community. That's our Facebook group. You could also send in the questions through our website, resiliencerisingpodcast.com, or directly to our email at resiliencerisingpodcast@gmail.com. And the question is, what should you do when the dynamics of friendships have changed, but neither person has, quote, done something wrong. You've just grown apart. Well, that's a good question. And oftentimes we seem to think that if we became friends with someone, the way that the friendship began is the way that the friendship is supposed to continue. That's not necessarily the case. And if there's a shift in dynamics of the friendship, that doesn't necessarily mean that something is wrong with the friendship or something is wrong with either person in the friendship. It just means dynamics change. Think about it. Are you the same person today that you were 20 years ago? Are you the same person today that you were 10 years ago? You have different opinions about certain things. You've lived different experiences. You've met different people. You've gone to different places. Different things have happened. Maybe you've had a change in career. Maybe you've had a change in your residence. Maybe you've had a change in your family structure. Things happen. Life happens. And the more we live, the more changes occur. That doesn't make anybody a bad person or that they've done something wrong. But when there's a change, there's usually a dynamic shift in one or more of our relationships. That's just the natural occurrence of growth. The key is to recognize that your friend has had a change in their personal dynamic life, which may impact the friendship, or that you have had a change in your personal life that may impact the friendship. Communication is always a wonderful thing, and just sit and talk about it. I have a friend that we used to be extremely, extremely close, and she had younger children, and she was married at the time, but her husband worked a lot. He worked more than one job, so he worked a lot. So she had, two small children under the age of 3. They were close, born close together. They became my godchildren, and so I jumped in and helped out as much as I could. So we were around each other a lot. We experienced a lot of things together. We were in the same places at the same times. We started having more conversations. So our friendship grew quickly and it grew close. Well, over time, some dynamics changed. The relationship ended, the marriage ended. They're still co-parents, but the marriage ended. The children grew up and she moved away. We're not together all the time anymore. The children are not 5 and 6 years old anymore. Now they're adults. And so the dynamics of the friendship, the dynamics of our lives are different now. But that doesn't mean we can't still be friends. We don't talk as often as we used to. We don't experience the same things anymore. We're not even in the same state anymore. So we don't experience the same things. We don't go to the same places together anymore. So there's not quite as much to talk about as there used to be, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the friendship has to quote unquote end. We just grew apart and no one did anything wrong. As a matter of fact, I believe we both did something right. We allowed our lives to grow and mature. And even if that means that we're not maintaining the exact same friendship that it was 15, 16, 17 years ago, that doesn't mean the friendship has to necessarily end. So the question of what should you do when the dynamics of friendships have changed? My question is, why do you think that you need to do anything? What you should probably do is allow it to happen. If you think that it may be causing a strain, or if you suspect that maybe the other person thinks of it in a negative way, have a conversation with your friend about it and say, listen, I just wanted to let you know, I realize our friendship isn't what it used to be, but I want you to know that I still love you. I'm still here for you. If you call me, I'll come. If you call me, I'll answer. I'm still your friend. I just do realize that our dynamics are different because our lives are different. That's okay. Everyone's allowed to grow. Everyone's allowed to shift. Everyone's allowed to change. And there are times when life serves us circumstances and situations where we'll have to adapt. So Allow yourself that for your life. Allow your friends to have that in their lives. And I'm hoping that your friends will allow that to happen in their own lives and in your life as well. And that's how you can maintain a friendship even after the dynamics of the friendship have changed. I hope that I have answered that question for you. And I hope that maybe Nikki and I were able to bring up a couple of pointers in our conversation that, may help somebody. As you know, you're always welcome to write in with any feedback, any comments, any questions. Leave a comment right here on the platform that you're tuning in, and I'll be glad to read it and reply. It's time for the Spirit Support segment, when we take a moment to feed our spirit. Brought to you by Jamila Wellness, where women go to be well and live beautifully. Here's a question. Are your friends helping you to feed your spirit? Are your friends, the friendships that you've chosen, helping you feed your spirit? For example, let's take a look at the book of Job. Now, I know most times Job is referred to when talking about suffering and going through something and losing all of his worldly possessions and questioning, and then at the end of the 42 chapter book getting his, being restored. But let's look at those chapters. Job loses everything he has in the very first chapter. In the second chapter, that's when his 3 friends come to visit him. And from chapter 2 to chapter 29, they talk to Job. The 4 of them have a conversation. Job and his 3 friends have all types of conversations where they are, wise men, and they're using their philosophies and their knowledge and their book smarts and everything to try to make sense of the fact that Job just lost everything. And they're trying to make sense of it and trying to figure out what he needs to do next. And they're having all these conversations, which turns into somewhat of an argument or a heated discussion and disagreements for 27 chapters. This goes on. It began in chapter 2 and it went through chapter 29. That's a lot. That's a long time to be just talking about, well, you had to do this. Well, it had to be because that. Well, you didn't do this. That's why this is happening to you. And you need to go out there and blah, 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 blah. And it's just on and on and on. And finally, finally in chapter 32, somewhere around chapter 32, another young man who's in the vicinity of hearing, he's in earshot, he finally starts lecturing them and is like, is no one actually talking to God? All of this time, you guys are talking about how you're such wise men. Well, if you're so wise, why has no one decided that maybe it's time to pray and ask God for answers or for guidance or for comfort or for something? But everyone's talking to each other, but nobody's talking to God. And he lectured them well into chapter 37. Well, his lecture opened up Job's ears and his mind to be prepared to hear from God. So God begins to talk to him in chapter 38 and talks to him well through chapter 41. And finally in chapter 42 is when Job talks to God. And in that very same chapter, Job has all things restored to him. In chapter 42, his friends came to him in chapter 2. Oftentimes, we look at our friends as though when we're going through something and they come to us immediately, or they answer our phones when we call, or they respond to the messages that go out immediately, that we're like, man, those are some great friends. But are those friends helping us to feed our spirit? Especially in the times when we need that the most, when we need our spirit fed, when we need our spirit boosted, when we need our spirit matured. Are our friendships, the friendships that we've chosen, helping us to cultivate that, a mature spirit. If Job's friends were in the mindset of helping him cultivate a mature spirit when they came to him in chapter 2, maybe the book of Job would not have been so long. So let us ask ourselves, are our friendships feeding our spirit? Thanks for tuning in to Resilience Rising with Naturally Cinnamon. Life has a way of tossing unexpected trials and circumstances our way. We can't stop them, but we can better handle them by raising our resilience. Remember, you can find us at ResilienceRisingPodcast.com, on Instagram at Resilience Rising Podcast, and you can also send in a question or topic for this podcast by emailing us at ResilienceRisingPodcast@gmail.com. Be sure to like this podcast, love it, share it, rate it, and comment, but most important, make sure that you've subscribed and that you're following. I'm Naturally Cinnamon. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Creative Director Jeremy Key for J Key Collective. Music by AJ Miles.